Millions more Australians can now book in for their COVID-19 vaccinations ahead of the next phase of the national rollout, which is due to start next week. The federal government has launched an online tool today where you can check your eligibility to get the jab and be directed to a nearby GP clinic to make an appointment.
Australians eligible under the next phase include people over 70 years old, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander adults and adults with specific medical conditions. It also includes healthcare workers who weren't included in the first round and Defence and Emergency Services personnel. Big news this morning. Let's bring in Steph Boris at Parliament House. Steph, good morning. So how does the booking process work here?
Good morning, Michael. Well, this is only applying to those in Phase 1B, those eligible that you've just run through there. So what they need to do is go to the health.gov.au website, and from there there's a few clicks through to what they're calling the eligibility test. You fill out a couple of questions about your age, about any medical conditions you may have and where you live, and then the computer basically decides whether you are eligible to be part of that Phase 1B group. If you are, the website will then direct you to the closest GP clinic that is giving the vaccinations out, and from there you'll either be able to book online, or some of the GP clinics are asking you to call them directly and make your appointment. Now, as I mentioned, this is just for people in Phase 1B, and if you aren't comfortable with using the internet, that's fine. You can call the National Coronavirus and COVID-19 Vaccination Hotline. So there are different options as to how you go about booking your vaccination GP appointment.
So can you run us through, Steph, the numbers on this in terms of GP clinics and the availability of the vaccines?
Yeah, so there's about 6 million people eligible under Phase 1B, so that's quite a lot of people to get through. It will take a number of months. From Monday, that's when this GP rollout, as we're calling it, will start. And on Monday, there will be about 1,000 GP clinics that can give these vaccinations out. So there's about 1,000 places where you can potentially book in for an appointment. That figure will continue to rise over the coming months, up to about 4,000 GP clinics nationwide. Now, of course, the rollout is dependent on the supply of vaccines. We've seen some issues with that due to the vaccines coming from overseas and problems with overseas supply. However, CSL, which is a biotech company based in Melbourne, they are tasked with manufacturing about 50 million doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine. And from next week, that's when they start to roll out that locally manufactured supply of AstraZeneca vaccines, about 1 million doses per week. Michael, the government's hoping to increase that as the weeks go on. So at the moment, there's only about 200,000 people vaccinated, so we still do have a long way to go.